I was Attorney General of a border state, I went after the transnational gangs, the drug cartels, and human traffickers. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. So I know what I'm talking about. We know our immigration system is broken, and we know what it takes to fix it. But Donald Trump does not want to fix this problem. He talks a big game about border security, but he does not walk the walk.
Ooh, there was a lot to work with there. She said, I was the AG of a border state. Does she know they have a wall? I mean, they have a structure down there. Part of it goes into the water past San Diego. Well, okay. Vice President Harris has to know her record on the border crisis is a problem. There's no way to run from that. But in a spate of new campaign ads like this one, she promises she'll fix it this time.
As president, she will hire thousands more border agents and crack down on fentanyl and human trafficking. Fixing the border is tough. So is Kamala Harris.
So she has no new ideas on that, because if they wanted to fix it, they would have done it already. Those have already been on the table. Never mind that she backed policies which illegally crossing the border would not be a crime. Our number one law that you break into this country across our sovereign nation's line, and she wants to make it not a crime. And she pushed for free health care for all illegal immigrants. Illegal. Politico is framing her as doing a 180, a quote pivot. Former Border Patrol Chief Rodney Scott says no way, and he calls it smoke and mirrors. Others actually are working on the border, not convinced either.
There are going to be people that are going to be tricked, but hopefully the majority of the voters, certainly here in Arizona, know that this administration, to include Kamala Harris as the borders are, have done a horrible job on so many levels, especially at the southern border. And I wouldn't be bragging about what she did in California. We can't expect that she's going to do any better than what she's already done, and what she has done is terrible.
Yeah, again, she benefited from having a structure south of San Diego going into Tijuana. As people cross into it, you know, it's a little tougher because there's a structure up. So walls do work, apparently. The New York Post editorial board is also weighing in, quote, Harris has changed her position on so many topics. The real question is, does she stand for anything, or is her only ambition to say and do whatever it takes to get elected? Then let the left wing of the party run the nation? In focus now, Florida Congressman Mike Waltz, member of the House Armed Services and House Foreign Affairs Committees, is with me from the great state of Florida. So first of all, what's your take on this sort of reinvention of Kamala Harris?
Well, Kamala Harris is a fake. That's just the bottom line. Whether it is her trying to steal President Trump's idea on no taxes on tips, whether it's her vice president picks, Governor Walz saying he served in combat, or whether this is now this total flip-flop on the border, it's fake, fake, fake. And I think the Wall Street Journal is absolutely right. She's going to say or do or pretend to do anything it takes to try to stay into power. But at the end of the day, she is a hard left progressive. The border is a disaster. The withdrawal from Afghanistan, all the way to this wide open border and hundreds of thousands dead from fentanyl every year. She owns it, Harris, period. And the American people are going to see right through this. I mean, this is just a joke. And the thing is, she's just throwing out these sound bites when President Trump's policies actually worked, period. Done. Whether it's remain in Mexico, getting the Mexican government to put their National Guard and secure their southern border, Title 42, or now his proposal to go after the cartels, which are the core issue behind all of this, and use cyber, space, and a naval blockade to actually shut down those networks. President Trump has real proposals that worked and will continue to work. Harris is just a fake. But she's a dangerous one.
When you talk about going after the cartels, I mean, that's one of the root causes that I thought she was looking for. All right, let's move to this. Vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance with the takedown of ABC's Jonathan Karl, who tried to claim Vice President Harris was never in charge of the border.
We have to start with the fact that we have a wide open southern border because our border czar actually set a lot of open border policies. They suspended.
She's not actually. She wasn't the border czar.
Oh, that was what the media called her. She assumed the title. She had control over a lot of our border policy at a time when they were suspending. Let me finish, John. The time they were suspending deportations, they stopped Donald Trump's Remain in Mexico policy, and they reinstituted catch and release. They basically threw open the gates of our country.
You know, something dawned on me real quickly. Congressman, it's almost as though they want to put out this reinvention of sound bites from her on these issues so that when you Google, those come up before the old ones.
There's a side-by-side of that very journalist from ABC saying that Harris in 2023 was in charge of the border. I mean, this is Soviet-style propaganda, and we're watching it in real time, Harris. But let's just take that on the face of it. Okay, she's only in charge of going after the root causes. She's visited exactly once. She botched that visit. And the only solution she's proposed is to throw $4 billion into Central America, when anyone who has served down there would tell you that the gangs, the cartels, and the corrupt government take up to half of that right off the top before it reaches anyone. That's billions into making the problem worse. And as opposed to Republicans in the House, which have proposed, let's pull supply chains out of China, and if it doesn't make sense to come here, then let's incentivize manufacturing there. Yeah. Now, one, you're pulling our supply chains into the Western Hemisphere and out of the hands of our adversary. And two, you actually are getting at core issues in terms of the cheaper labor that they have down there. So there's real solutions on the table. None of them are coming from the Harris-Waltz campaign. And to see the media just feed into these sound bites, how about you actually interview her about her policies instead of J.D. Vance about her policies?
Yeah, and I was going to say, I can imagine in your political career, you've won a lot of debates because you come packing with some new information every time I see you, and you make your points. That's why we also need debates. We need those sit-down interviews. We need her to be just questioned about the tough things. Like, why are you suddenly wanting to fix it now, but you didn't for 3.5 years? I mean, that gives us that opportunity. Real quick, last word.
No, I'm in the camp for President Trump to do as many debates with her as possible. The job of all of us and the media is to tease her out and actually have her speak off the top of her head to show everything that she doesn't know.
All right, Congressman, thank you very much for being with me.
Thanks,
Good
Harris.
to see you.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.